Let's go, let's go, let's go. Happy pre-Thanksgiving. Let's go, y'all. Let's go, let's go. Let's go. Good evening. What's up? What's up? What's up, Wayne? Good evening, everybody. What's up, Starling? Let's go, y'all. Let's go, let's go. That's, I play our theme song. All right, let's go, let's go. There's Rory. Let's go. Now play Madden. What's
What's
up,
up?
JJ?
What's up? What's up?
How you doing, man?
Good, good. Let me go get my earbuds.
Okay. Come on, Rory. There we go. Let's get in here, y'all. Let's do this. Hope everybody's getting ready for a big Thanksgiving on tomorrow. What's up, Rory?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fine, brother. How are you?
I cannot complain at all.
That's good, man. You survived the weekend, I see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, JT, how y'all doing, man? Yes, Starling, that's our song. That's our theme song. We love this song. I'm thankful for the brothers tonight. I'm thankful for the men tonight that show up for the Blue Table Talk for Men.
Yes, indeed.
It's our jam right here.
Put on a hat. I'm out here looking crazy.
I know, right? All right, good evening, everybody. This is not Battle for the Sexes tonight. Battle of the Sexes tonight. That's next week. That's next Wednesday. We're gonna have our first one on next week. Hey guys, how y'all week been going? Talk to me. Update us on how your week been and what you're gonna do for tomorrow on Thanksgiving. Come on, JT. Yes, you're more than welcome to sit in and chat with us and type. But next week we'll have a couple of women on the how Battle of the Sexes. That's next week.
So you wanted me to go first? I'm
Yeah,
waiting for
yeah.
food.
How you
I
doing?
don't know what type. I don't know what type of answer to give you here. I'm just waiting for food, brother. I don't know what we talking about right now. I'm just waiting.
Well, I just get an update first, and then we're talking about tonight. The main conversation tonight. She doesn't love you back. We want to talk about what do you do when you're pursuing someone and they don't love you back? Failed relationships. You know what I'm saying? That's our
Yeah,
general talk for tonight.
right, right. So what am I doing today? I'm not doing anything. I'm relaxing, and I've been singing this song all day. Let me clear my throat for you real quick. Can I get
Okay.
the yams? Sweet, sweet yams.
All right, all right. I hear you. I hear you, boy. I hear you. I hear you.
Yellow,
What's up, Yellow? What's up, Yellow?
Good
yellow fire,
afternoon.
yellow in
Good
the
good evening,
house.
gentlemen. Good evening. Good evening. How y'all doing?
Man,
Good,
doing
brother.
good, man.
There we
Doing
go. We
good.
got a full house tonight.
Yeah, good. Listen, my partner in crime, really, literally in crime. Lord help me. Man, this section is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting with this
Who, me?
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. We filled in the ladies and see who want to sit at the table with us on next Wednesday night. We
Nice.
filled in. We filled in the. Well, good evening, everybody. We got a full house tonight. We got the fellas here tonight. We're going to talk about what our tomorrow looks like. We're going to get an update for the week, and we're having a general conversation tonight. What happens when she doesn't love you back? You're pursuing her now. You're in the friend zone, and you want her bad. So, what do you do? What do you do with a broken heart and a broken spirit? And that's the general talk tonight. And we get ready for our battle of the sexes on next week. And we are just looking forward to having a good time. This is episode number 27. It should be 27 on my screen. This is episode 27. We just uploaded 26 to the YouTube channel. We had a great conversation last week. Is there such a thing called man code? Where did it come from? Where did it start? We had a great conversation on last week. So JT chimed in. He's rating on the yams. Rory, how was your week, man? What you doing tomorrow?
Week was great. Tomorrow I'll be traveling down to Houston to see my uncle. My grandma's cooking, so that's a special occasion.
Okay.
Go down there and just have some good food and good conversation and talk trash.
That's good, man. You gonna play some spades?
I doubt it. We love our family too much to play spades.
I know, right? All right. Well, Goldie, how was your week, man? What you doing tomorrow?
Week was short. Only worked Monday and Tuesday. Was off today. I'm off today, of course, tomorrow and Friday. So I got a good 5-day weekend happening. I'm very happy about that. We went down to Houston on Sunday to go watch that. I'm very happy about that. We went down to Houston. Houston Texan Commander game. That was a joke, but it was with the family, and
Right.
I still had a good time. Tomorrow, we don't really do a traditional Thanksgiving kind of thing for us. We do ours Caribbean style. So Scarlett is
Okay.
down there. Scarlett is down there right now getting the oxtails together and the rice and peas or the peas and rice, however you wish to say it. The cabbage, the fried cabbage, and everything like that. So it's not going to be your traditional Thanksgiving, but we gonna eat. My oldest is as a matter of fact, he's in the air right now, flying from
How about
Alabama
that?
to get here. So I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good time.
That is good. Sneaky, what's going on? How was your week and what you doing tomorrow?
Well, the week was interesting. I work at security at a hospital. Hopefully, y'all can hear me.
Yeah.
We had a dude that decided he wanted to destroy every computer in the holding area. This dude was wackadoo. So when we
Wow.
had to go in and we had to go do some corrective actions on this dude. I was like, okay. I took
Okay.
off my watch, took off my badge, this, that, and I like, this is going to be painful. And fortunately, it wasn't because he's
Good.
one of those all talk, but when the force comes, he's like, okay, well, look, man, that ain't what you were saying 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well,
So
this ain't the time to be playing around.
I'm glad it wasn't painful, but we was ready for it. Second thing is, we do a traditional Thanksgiving, so we'll start the turkey. I'll probably start the turkey a little bit after I finish with you guys. Got the
Okay.
greens done, collard greens, and what I use is
Okay.
we
All
use
right now.
shanks. We use ham shanks. I don't do ham hocks because there's a lot of fat, a lot of skin. We use shanks, smoked
Right.
shanks, which we can get from the Fort Bragg Commissary. So I cooked these things. I started yesterday. I cooked them up. Everything was good. And then my wife's like, "Baby, they good?" I was like, "Yeah, they ready. You test them. You let me know." I handed her a fork. I tasted them. I got a fork. She like, hold on just a second. She gonna go get a bowl. And that just irritated my soul. I gotta taste them. I gotta make sure. So she, I love her. She got a bowl, and after she ate a bowl, she like, oh yeah, they good.
Right.
Oh
That's
I love
good.
man,
that woman.
That's good.
I love that
that's
woman.
what's
But yeah,
up.
we're gonna
That's
start the
what's up.
traditional. I'll start the turkey and all of that stuff tomorrow morning. And we'll be pretty much cooking by tomorrow evening. Everything will be done, set up, dressing, and all of that.
Yeah.
I do most of the cooking anyway. She does the
All
prep.
right.
She's my
Okay.
sous chef. She
That's
does the
good.
washing and the chopping and all that, but I'll be doing
Yeah.
all the cooking
Yeah.
tomorrow.
She's a
And
great
it'll be a beautiful
assistant for
thing.
you. She's a great assistant for you.
Well, yeah, because
Absolutely.
after
Yeah.
I mess up the kitchen, she gonna clean it.
So can I ask a question,
Yeah. Go ahead.
Dr.
Yes.
Sims? Y'all get to play again on Sunday? Again?
Well, we playing tomorrow. We play the Giants tomorrow.
I'm sorry,
I'm a
not to
little
say on
excited
Sunday,
about that.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah.
get to play
We
on
play
Thanksgiving.
tomorrow.
Right.
I
Yeah.
gotta win
Yeah.
this
We play.
season. I don't appreciate this. I don't appreciate playing y'all. I mean, I want a challenge. You know what I'm saying? I want a
I hear.
challenge.
I don't know. We just don't. That's the argument out now. All of the sports prognosticators say which Dallas team is going to show up. Y'all scare me. Saquon Barkley is back. Y'all scare me. Danny Dimes is doing his thing. So it's going to be an interesting game. We are 9.5 point favorite, but I'd rather be a 3 point underdog. But we shall see.
I don't think it's gonna be a repeat of what Dallas did last week against
I
Minnesota.
don't either.
I don't see. I never. Hell, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I didn't even see what happened to Minnesota happening. To be truly
Right.
honest with you, but
Mhm.
I think people will awaken to what Dallas did on Sunday against Minnesota.
We show potential, and that's a great segue into our conversation tonight. We
We
show
showed the
potential,
potential.
what we can be. If we played on all cylinders, we show what we can be. And for us tomorrow, we got some family members, some cousins cooking, and all I got to do is do a drive-by. So we still on the men. So we got people
Hey,
cooking for us tomorrow. So I'm really excited about that. Watch football, eat, sleep, and drink, and be merry.
wash, rinse, and repeat. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. First game,
Okay.
Detroit Bills.
Thank you.
Upset special. Upset special.
Oh
Take it
no,
to
sir.
Vegas. Upset special. The Lions will beat the Bills tomorrow.
What?
Oh, that's a
Oh,
wow. That's a reach right there.
okay. You
Hey,
can't
you
say
heard it here
That's
talk.
a
first.
reach.
You
You
That's
heard
can't
it
a
here
talk like
first.
reach.
you can't talk like that to a betting
Hey,
man. So hold on
Zamaya.
for a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a reach. That's a
That
reach right there. That kind of.
Yeah,
That's a
Yeah,
little.
well, look,
Rory's like, okay, okay, Sims, okay, Sims.
look, I'm not a football man. All I'm gonna say is, wow.
Ah, ah, so Lions play the Bills first, then the Cowboys and the Giants. I think we're gonna squeak by about 4 points, and then the cap for tomorrow night is the Patriots and the Vikings. The Patriots may surprise, but I think the Vikings will win that game.
mm,
I'm sorry. Did you slip in a 4 point win?
yes,
Yeah,
You
I
just
we're gonna
slipped
did.
win
that
by
in it.
4 points. Yeah,
You know how y'all do.
I
You know
know
how
how we
y'all do.
do.
Yeah, no, you walking by faith. That's why I know you're a man of God. Look at all that faith you got.
That's a that's some
Mhm.
serious faith right
Well,
there.
we walk
That's a
by
good.
faith. Come on, John P. Key. We walk by faith. Zamaya, thank you for that. What's your husband's name, Zamaya? Thank you for that. We just love to fellowship, and the men love to talk with each other. And fellas, be honest tonight. Talk to us. Have you ever had your heart broken? Have you ever loved somebody that didn't love you back? And I gave a reading assignment out last week. We're gonna look at the study. We're gonna talk about Samson and Delilah tonight. How did
Mhm.
Samson fail? Because I won't say he loved. I think his love was mixed up with lust. He lusted after women. He lusted after Delilah. He didn't love
Mhm.
her. He lusted after her. So have you ever
Amen.
loved somebody or lusted after somebody and they did not love you back?
Hmm. Yes.
Mm.
Well, let me throw this in first. Samson surrendered. I'll leave that
That's
alone. Now,
okay. Okay.
I'll leave that alone. He surrendered. He had all that strength. He surrendered. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, how can I word this carefully? All right, there are some people out there,
Okay.
even though they're in a relationship, they do an extramarital thing and then feel like they're in love, but that
Right.
can't
Mm.
come to be. Now, how do you take that broken heart home?
Hello. Wow.
Mm.
Wow, that's a great question. And
Mm,
then to top on that, to piggy on that, and just to open up a big old can tonight, and because a
Mm.
lot of women have asked and sent us DMs to ask this question. So why is it men get some get right when it's over? When she claims she's done, then a man wants to get some get right then.
that's
Because
just
Mm.
immaturity.
well,
That's just immaturity.
there you
That's
go.
Yeah.
just childish actions right there. You know, when I was a child, I act like a child. When I was a man, you act, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, um, a lot of things us men do, because I'm not trying to talk about the women, I'm talking about me.
Right.
A lot of things
Right.
that we do, we're selfish. We can be selfish. We want
Mhm.
what we want, and once we can't have that,
Right.
then the mature thing is to accept it and move on, but we're not all
Right.
mature.
No.
Right.
Sometimes we get mad. Sometimes we want to get right. I'll show that B word.
Right.
You know, sometimes we don't act right. But wait a minute,
Right.
I don't want to get away from the question I had. Let's say
No, you fine.
you're
You're going
yeah,
down. You're talking well. Come on.
you're in a relationship. You're married, and you do something extra, and then you let your heart go out there.
Hmm.
Get it broken.
Hmm.
Right.
You got to come back home and remain silent. You got to deal with that.
Yeah,
You
Facts.
that's a
can't
great
talk
point.
about that.
So
That's
so
a
why is
heartbreak.
your heart broken though? Because I won't say it wasn't nothing, but it
It
was
was never
something.
meant
But
to be,
Hmm.
but it was. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm speaking from experience. I'm just saying that I'm
Yeah,
just saying that that's a dynamic that well could happen.
very
want to
well,
confirm?
very
You may
well.
want to confirm nor deny.
Amari, good evening, Amari. I saw your 5-part story, Amari. Good to have you this evening. That's a great point. Now I'm gonna push back a little bit.
Mm,
Phil.
mm,
Okay.
Samson didn't surrender, and I've done a series on this in my messages. He didn't surrender per se. His
mm,
commitment and his calling were not the same. His commitment was less than his calling. His
okay.
calling was greater than his commitment. And that gets a lot of us in trouble. We're not committed to our calling. I love the story of Samson and Delilah.
Mm,
Delilah gets the bad rap for bringing him down, but she was that straw that broke the camel's back, if you will. But y'all, come on, chime in.
mm,
So why are men selfish? Why is it that we want it when it's over? Why are we selfish? Why do we go after the things that we can't have? Why help us? Because men have broken hearts. I heard another brother talk this evening, and I did a duet with it. Men are hurting. And I saw a lot of the
yes.
comments. A lot of brothers raised their hand and said, "We're hurting. We're hurting. Our hearts are heavy tonight. Men are stressed out. Men have mental health issues. And this is why we have this space tonight. Men need help. They just don't know it. I was talking to a couple this morning, and they said, Dr. Sam, we're so glad we found you. The mother referred the son to me, and they said, we're so thankful to have you. And we knew we needed help. We just didn't know which way to go because this is our first time doing something like this. So where
Mm.
do men go when their hearts get broken?
Well,
They,
see,
they,
a lot of men
go ahead.
don't feel that they need counseling or therapy. We're proud, we're strong.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know, right? Some people feel that if I need to get help, unlike me, because I love you, Dr. Sims, I
Oh,
appreciate you, brother. But some people can't do this.
Right.
that's right.
Some men can't do this. Yella, I love you. Rory, I love you. Freaking all of you, I love you. I'm sorry, James, I love you. Some men can't do
They
this.
can't say
And I'll
it.
be honest with you,
Hmm.
all bullshit aside, excuse my language, a
You
few
okay?
years back, I wouldn't have done this. Okay, when I
Yeah.
was in the
Mm.
military, I wouldn't have done this. I don't need to talk to nobody about my feelings. I'm the man. I can hold it.
Right.
These shoulders can take anything. My
Yeah.
shoulders can't take anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because another
But
issue we had, and I had to break through this morning, generically speaking, I had to break through this morning because we feel like we're right. And if you
Mm.
yeah.
stand on that hill, and both parties felt they were right. I said, no, 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 no. I said, listen. I said, we're not throwing anybody under the bus. I said, you can't argue my perception or how I feel about a thing. And when I said that, you could see the light bulb come on. They were like, okay, okay. I said, you gotta change. You gotta get off that mound that you're right and can't nobody tell you anything. Before we can help anybody, okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, okay, I did, okay, I shouldn't have done that. I am being selfish. And that was one of my issues in my former relationship, just being purely selfish.
See, what a lot of people can, and I'm not trying to dominate the conversation, but I like
No,
what you
you're fine.
said.
You're fine.
You both can be right. You both see it in two different perspectives. The problem with a lot of folks is if I'm right, you got to be wrong. And
Hmm.
that's not the way it should be. I can be right, but you could be right as well. You just see it a different way. The
Right.
problem is people aren't broad enough to understand the fact that it's not only has to be one way.
Fact.
That was hard for me. That was hard for me. If I'm right, you're wrong. No. If I see it one way, you can see it another way. We both can be right, but you got to be mature enough, understanding enough, and open enough to be able to realize that.
That's right.
It
Hmm.
takes a lot of patience too. So so
It
so
does.
so when do you go
I have a
from
question.
come on, come on, come on, come on.
Well, not a I have a question and a statement, and I'm
Okay,
pushing back on you, Dr. Sims.
okay,
And here's my pushback. If if I look at this definition, it says cease to resist is part of surrender.
okay,
What I have a problem with is when Samson ceased to resist
okay,
Delilah.
okay,
He gave up, he
Yeah.
surrendered to God, and then turned around and surrendered to her will by
okay,
giving up his
okay,
information. And
That's
my
okay,
why I said
problem,
okay,
surrender.
okay,
yeah, yeah. And
okay.
so what I'm seeing from us as men, when it comes to relationships, we won't be honest that when we finally take the time to cease to resist to a woman, it's always the after effect of that. I just gave you all of me. I stopped resisting your love. I stopped resisting the way you wanted me to
That's
move in a
good.
relationship.
That's
I'll never
good.
forget, my heart got broken because I gave my life to Christ.
Mm.
I got dumped on 42nd Street and
Wow.
Fifth Avenue right after going to the movie
Wow.
with the woman that I love, man. Because she said, if you're going to keep doing this Jesus thing, I'm out. And I was like, nah,
Wow.
but this is what's changing me. This is what's making me a better man. This is what's helping me to grow. And at that moment, I had to choose between which way I'm going to surrender.
Right.
Am I going to surrender my life to God, or am I going to surrender my life to her? Because that's what she was asking me to do. She was asking
Wow.
me to give up the very God that I loved and served for her.
Wow.
And fellas, I stood on 42nd Street and Fifth Avenue and watched her walk away.
You
And
like,
shed my little tears. You know, it was crazy was, I think I told y'all a story before, but what broke my heart is several years later, she married a preacher. I said, ain't this about it?
you what?
No.
Say that loud
Bloop,
for the
bloop,
people on the back row. Say that loud for the people on the
She
back row.
wound up later on marrying a preacher.
bloop. Wow.
Here's the crazy thing that she said to me when we talked. She said, I probably wouldn't have married him had I not went through you. She said,
My
because I couldn't
Lord.
understand why a man would take down all of this. I said, girl, I don't know how I did it either. I understand.
Hey, what say, but God. But God.
Go.
And
See,
what JT and Goldie or Phil alluded to, y'all, if you are not familiar with the story, basically Delilah was pressing Samson. One of the fundamental rules he had, do not reveal the source of your strength.
mm,
And she pressed him. She vexed his spirit, and y'all can do the Hebraic translation. She pressed him, and y'all know a woman has that gift. She can just get on that nerve and with that audible
mm,
sound. Where does your strength lie? I thought you
Yeah, that's
loved
good.
me.
That's
And
good.
and 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 he was vexed. He said, if you cut my hair, I'll be like any other man. Now go fix me a sandwich. And she had it.
mhm. And she
She had it.
put that mayo on with a knife and brought the knife right back.
Right.
Yeah.
Leave the knife
But
on.
I
She
will say
and
this.
I don't know, hey fellas, I don't know
Mm,
what she did. Hey, good evening, y'all. I don't know what she did, but she put him to sleep in such a way he did not
Yeah,
feel his hair getting cut.
you know what she did.
Well,
she put it on.
let's just say he fell into a crack house and never returned.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
preached the sermon. I preached the sermon getting a haircut in the wrong barber shop.
There you go.
Mm.
There you go. Well, I will say this though. Another nuance to this: ceasing to resist, to surrender. A lot
Okay,
of us, I can say for me, when I did get to
that's
the point
good.
where I surrender, you kind of want to act like you did somebody a favor. Girl, I stopped resisting you. I let you have your way. Now you owe me something. But when you surrender, it should be your choice for what you're doing for yourself. But a lot of us try to act like we did her a favor.
Wow, wow. Do we fundamentally understand what it takes to be in a relationship? And this is why we also say this relationship 101. Do we as men understand how much is on our shoulders when it comes to relationship?
We don't. You said
No,
something a while back.
no.
In this marriage game, there's no
Mhm.
book, there's no rules, there's no regulations. It's OJT. You learn these relationships while you're in these
Big
relationships.
fact.
That's right.
And
Mhm.
That's right.
if you
Congratulations.
take the wrong turn,
Mhm.
if you trip up, if you zig when you should zag, you're making the mistake during the experiment.
Yeah,
Very
There's
much
no
so.
we
there's no
wrecking the car
blueprint.
on the trip. We wrecking the car on
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
trip.
exactly. Now
And I oh, go
I've been
ahead.
Come on.
fortunate enough to, my next anniversary be my 37th. And there's been a lot of screw
Ooh,
ups I've done along the
37.
way. But, we've recovered. It ain't perfect. We're still a freaking body at work. We
Right.
understand that. But a lot of people do better the second or third time around because you got the
Yeah.
first relationship to fall back on, the experience for the second relationship before you get it right. Now,
Right.
I'm
Mhm.
not saying I got it right. We just kept working at it. But
Yeah.
I applaud you on that. These relationships, they're OJT. You're working on
Yeah.
it while you're
And so
doing it.
we don't go to school. We do not take
Right.
classes on this
Yeah.
stuff. Go ahead, JT. You wanted to say something.
I wanted to say this. Somebody asked a question in the comments. Could I have stayed with her, you know, if she was not a believer? No, because I didn't. And it wasn't even an equally yoked statement. It was just that if I really want to do this journey, I had to separate myself. I needed to smash. I needed to, hang out, drink, party. I needed a season to just get my mind right and
Yeah.
changing the way that I live, which leads to this next part that he set up there is like, if I give my life to my wife and I'm working through it, the biggest thing that I had to learn that God showed me and my wife, I said, we spend too much time trying to be right instead of us working together to get it right.
Right.
Being right don't mean you really growing.
That's
Getting
right.
it right is where you grow. In other words, I work on the compromise. I work on the yielding at times. Where there are times my wife be like, well, I think we should handle it this way. And I'll be like, you know what? I
Right.
really don't think that's going to work.
That's
But I
right.
go with it because I know it's not detrimental to our marriage or our kids.
Yeah.
It's just a learning curve. So it's like, we just getting it right. And what's right is that I love you and trust you,
Right.
even when I can't see. Because I try to tell my wife all the time, you're my eyes and ears on
Right.
certain things. And I'm your eyes and ears on certain things. So give me a chance to lead, and then let me get a chance also to follow. Like
Yeah.
when
And
me and
that
my
was
wife
one.
got married,
That's good.
we went to I
Go
just
ahead.
want to say this real quick. We went to the park, and I'm from the projects. Only time kids went to the park is to sell crack and watch babies run around in diapers.
Right.
And when we moved to the suburbs, my wife's like, all right, well, now we're going to take Julia to the park. I said, what are we going to the park for? I don't
Right.
smoke no weed no more. I'm good, right?
Right.
She said, no, we got to do family time.
Right.
And I'll never forget, I was uneasy about it because it wasn't something that I did. I'll never forget my wife was like, I just wish your attitude was better. I just wish you was excited about doing this. I said, sometimes I don't have to be excited about it. I just have to do it so I can learn it and then be excited about it.
Right.
Now
Right.
I teach my kids how to skateboard. We go to the park all the time. I look goofy. I be on the bike with my body bigger than the bike, and we all ride bikes. But I had to grow into that. You know what I'm saying? I think
That's
what we have to
good.
teach each other is I don't know everything, and I might
Right.
be uncomfortable with your idea, but I'm going to
Right.
yield to it because it's going to grow me.
That's good. And Zamaya, to your point, she said that her and her husband have different beliefs, and they don't let it be an issue now. It's easier now. And one of the things I do with my relationship clients, you got to have a list of negotiables and non-negotiables. And where does not having the same belief, how does it fall out? Okay. And the couple I
Mhm.
worked with this morning, they didn't have any premarital work. You know what I'm saying? And so it just depends on how that falls out. Is it a hard spot or
Mhm.
not? As long as you guys are loving each other, as long as he's treating you like a wife, you're treating him like a husband, it's all good. And we're not going to believe everything. You may be a Democrat, he might be a Republican. You may be Baptist, he may
Mm.
be on the round
Ooh.
the corner Pentecostal church on the rock side of the ice cream shop. You know what I'm saying? But as
Mhm.
long as y'all love each other, and love will whoop anything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. That's
And
good.
it's work. I mean, relationships are work. It's more than just. I mean, the first go round for me, I just thought I thought the marriage was the honeymoon all the time, and I had a rude awakening.
See,
Mm.
my issue was once again, I only speak for me, is I thought things were absolutes. If I say this, it goes. If you want this, we got it. That type. I've learned in these 30 plus years with this woman that there's no absolutes. There's shit that happens in this house that I don't like. Am I the king of my castle? Yes. But there's
Right,
stuff
Mhm.
that happens because more than just me and my wife. I got daughters. They got, boyfriends that sometimes stuff happens in my kingdom that I don't like. Now, do
right.
I off with your head? No, that's too much.
That's good.
You see what I'm
That's good.
saying?
That's really good.
Sometimes you accept some things that you don't like, and then what you shouldn't do, what I don't do, is let it get pent up. Now I go back to the bedroom. My wife's like, "You look like you're pissed off." I am, and here's why.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's that
don't
and
don't
and
don't
and
air it in front of everybody if it's not that big of a deal. But
Right.
I still have that shoulder. I still have that bosom. And then
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like, well, baby, I'm glad you didn't blow up. It wasn't a big deal. We'll work through it. But see, I always got that go-to. I got that fallback. And like I always say, she has the advantage because I love her. She loves me too. She can bring me down.
That's
But
good. That's
everything in
good.
my
I
kingdom
feel good.
doesn't go the way I want it to go. But I can't just go ham because in any kingdom, there's got to be harmony.
That's right.
There's gonna be people that's gonna rub you wrong. There's gonna be a boyfriend or a fiance. Someone's gonna do. Grown men can't live together for long. And
That's right.
when I get them smaller lions, them younger lions in my freaking pride, I gotta make room for them. They know I'm gonna bite that head off.
Yeah.
But I gotta give room to them. I got daughters, and then they have their boy. You see what I'm saying? So everything
Yeah,
in the kingdom doesn't go the way I want it. I just have someone to fall back on that has my back to say, hey, this is how we're going to negotiate that
that's
thing.
good. Hey, good evening again, everybody. Y'all hit that screen. We want about 80,000 likes tonight. It's pre-Thanksgiving, and we sitting around just getting some pre-food and fellowship with each other, drinking on our drink on. And somebody put a comment in, and Amaria, if I'm mispronouncing your name, forgive me. But what this generation is struggling with or challenged with, they want a Phil, Goldie, JT, Dr. Sims raw relationship overnight. These dating sites, these reality shows, you fall in love in the first half of the show, you break up in the middle, and by the end of the show, you either make up or you just done. Period. That's 60 minutes. But
Mm.
relationships take time. Anything worth having, and I saw JT's live today about talking about business. He's got a training coming up on business. You got to make sure you have a good foundation. For anything to last, you got to have a good foundation. And a lot of times, we want to build a whole house in one night.
That's
Mm-hmm.
facts.
Mm-hmm.
It takes
Facts.
time.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and daddy,
Yeah.
they were married 50 years. And my mom and dad used to laugh and joke with us all the time. They started out with one spoon, one fork, and one knife in a one-room shack, but they were happy and they stayed together 50 years. We want
Mm-hmm.
to be CEO. We want to have a seven-figure salary. We want the Lamborghini, the Bentley. We want a penthouse. We want all that in about 3 months.
Yeah.
You
And
got to
do
pay some
and we
dues.
want
You got to
image.
pay
We
some
don't
dues.
They
Go ahead,
want
JT.
image. They want image. They don't want marriage. They want what people are projecting. Like, and I want to say this, I don't want to be offensive, but y'all need to stop watching reality TV. Y'all need to
Facts.
stop watching these messy
I hate
relationships.
it.
Stop watching the Kardashians. I said it. Stop
Real
watching these
Housewives.
people on TV who all they do is in and out of surgery, in and out of cars, in and out of somebody's bed, in and out of somebody's marriage, committing adultery, and then they celebrate it and they make it look real. When is the last time you had somebody just love you for you? Not only
Right.
do they find you attractive, but they think they think talking to you is good,
Yeah,
laughing with you, joking with you, crying with you. Like
that's
a lot
good.
of y'all, and stop making relationships group projects. Y'all getting on my nerve. We make
Yep.
it a group project.
We
Like
do.
I see
Come on.
50 other people doing the same thing. I'm gonna do the same thing the group is doing. No, you just need one to love you. And stop taking pictures like your relationship is real. Turn the camera off. Stop
Thank you.
taking pictures of your food and actually get to know the joker you are dating or courting.
Hello.
And when he
You
can't
have
read
to
or and he can't read or write, but he take a good photo, y'all tripping, man.
Hmm.
come on,
Come
JT.
on, come on. I'm
JT.
just saying. I'm
JT
just saying.
fundamental,
Go ahead. My
and that's
bad.
why I believe we are so popular because we old school. It's fundamental.
Yep.
You cannot be. I could not stand the Boston Celtics. Could stand the New England Patriots. You know why? Fundamentally sound.
Yep.
Hmm.
Robert McHale and all Kevin and all them boys and Danny
San Antonio.
Kevin
Ainge and Danny
McHale,
San
Johnson.
Robert
Antonio.
Parrish.
San
Yep.
Antonio
Larry
Spurs.
Bird.
Fundamentally
Fundamental
sound.
basketball. That's right.
I'm,
Fundamentally sound. And
I'm,
Goldie is my golf coach. And we're
mm,
working on fundamentals will never fail. And
that's right.
relationships are just this simple. You treat them the way you want to be treated.
Oh,
If
Hey,
y'all
I
you
want to
want
playing
jump
a
in real
golf?
hug,
quick.
come on,
Mm.
come on, come on, come on, come on.
No, I want to jump in
Wait,
before I
no,
lose
no,
this.
no. Wait.
Before I lose this
Y'all,
thought.
y'all
Before I lose
playing
this thought.
golf together? Go ahead,
Yeah.
because I'm in my
Anyway,
feelings.
no,
Go
no,
ahead, go ahead.
no. Wait. I want to jump in on the back of JT. Okay. Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff. My wife, once again, I don't talk about other people. I talk about me. My wife's like, First of all, she's on my Facebook. I don't even get on Facebook. She gets on mine. You got more friends, military, blah blah blah. So she's perusing all
Uh-huh.
through my stuff. And your friend, they're doing this, and then I'm like, baby, people post what they want you to see. You don't see the
That's
background.
right.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see the background. Instagram, they standing there and this, that, and the other, all the filters. One, you're not looking at real people. After you get past the filters, and they went to this place for dinner and they just smiling, and they went here, blah, blah. She's like, did you click into their photos? I said, baby, when I do get on Facebook, it's whatever post. I don't click. I don't care about your photos. I don't care about your dog, your cat, your kids. I don't get into the weeds. If it don't pop up on the beginning, I'm done.
And there
Okay,
and
but get
there's a
out of that
show.
fantasy, because
Yeah,
people
there's a
show
show.
you what they want you to see on
There's a
social media.
show. There's a show that still is popular to this day, and we watching Ridiculousness last night, and it's still on. It's called Catfish. And you may put up a fake Photoshop image, but you cannot catfish your personality.
Right.
You can't Photoshop your personality. The real you. I saw another live today where this relationship dating coach, she has for 3 months, you don't do no kissing, no hugging, no sex, etc. And man, those comments, they were throwing darts at her. They were throwing fiery darts at her. But she said, slow down, slow down. It takes at least 3 months for the real person to start coming out. And she had a reason why she built her program the way she did. But she was saying, and one clinical psychologist was in the room, but I never took no class that said all that. She said it wasn't a dating class, But we got to get beyond the frills, the cream filling, and all of the fluff, and get down to the nitty gritty. We are afraid to really be vulnerable and real, and that's why we're here, because you putting yourself out there is a danger to be vulnerable.
This
The other person may or may not return the kind of feeling that you may have.
I agree.
I'm
And there's a
gonna,
loneliness, Goldie. Goldie, explain it this. When you hit 18 years of building with somebody, all the mask comes off. And
Yeah.
then there's the phase of, I got to spend the rest of my life with you. And what does that look like? I always wanted to ask you guys that have been married 36 years, 13, because I'm at the 18-year mark, and I'm like,
How
I'm
about
glad
that?
you still like me.
I'll tell
You still want to do some things.
That's good.
this a
JT,
story.
JT, will we have liked the old JT?
The old before Jesus?
Yeah. Will we have
No,
liked
sir.
you?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. I was about that Oasis. I was about that
Uh-huh.
Oasis. I
Wow.
was for the streets. I was for the streets. I had no love for nobody. And I was gangbanging. So nobody
Okay.
wanted to be around me, not even my own family. So much so that when I
Wow.
gave my life to the Lord, nobody came to my confirmation.
Wow.
Wow.
Nobody showed up. You know how people pray for you and lay hands?
right.
It's probably one of the I'm about to get emotional about it, man, because it still hurts to this day. But
Wow.
nobody showed up. Nobody's like, I was so bad. Me coming to Christ when some people believed. Like nobody thought I could change and grow in God and be a better man.
Wow. Well, we proud of you,
Yeah,
man.
No,
I
but
tip
nobody
my
would have
hat
liked
to
me.
I
Nobody would have
tip my
liked
hat
me.
to you. Go ahead,
Let's go back.
Goldie.
I'm
Okay.
gonna answer. I'm gonna answer James's question as succinctly as I possibly can. After the 18 month, well, you know what, to be truly honest with you, after 15, because a lot of people like to do the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, so on and so forth. After 15 years, it comes down to one word and one word only: maintenance. That's all it is. It is consistent and constant maintenance. It is
Yeah.
you don't let the small turn into the big. You don't let the big turn into the critical. You don't let the critical turn
Yeah.
into tragedy. You don't do that. You
That's
you
right.
you you nip things in the bud when you first see it happening. When you first see the little inkling, you
Yeah,
don't wait for
I talked about it this morning.
you
I
don't
said
wait
that
for
this morning.
like I tell some folks, you don't wait for the dashboard lights to start to flash. You don't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Internally, you
Yeah.
know what needs to be done. You know, okay, I'm starting to slip on this little part. Let me go ahead and pick this up without it being verbally said or being shown to you. So
Right.
after about 15 years, it's honestly and truthfully, it's about maintenance. It is truly,
Okay.
Yeah.
truly about maintenance. So once
I
you
agree.
keep up with the
It's
maintenance,
just
all
it's
is good.
Jada West, and I told the couple this morning, and I said the biggest challenge, as Goldie is saying, is maintenance. Why do football teams practice? Why the soccer teams practice? Why the golfers hit thousands of golf balls every day?
Muscle
Because
memory.
it's muscle memory, and it doesn't take long. I haven't played now for going on a month, and I talked to another buddy, and we may hit a few balls next week, but you lose those things if you don't stay on top of it. And so
Mm.
Jada West, this is what I gave all my couples I work with and the singles that I work with. And one of the main questions asked, how do we keep that fire burning? How do we feel like we felt day one? Or how do we feel like we felt in the honeymoon stage? I said, do this. And I put it in my premarital coaching workbook. Kiss me like it's the first time and hold
Mm.
me like it may be the last.
Right.
Yeah.
Because again,
Come
I
on
do not
now.
want I do not want to keep saying this, but it's so relevant. I thought I lost my heart. I thought I lost my soulmate, guys.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I told the couple today, and they admitted that they have a long history and they just been married 2 years. I said, remember that feeling you missed each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Hmm.
hone in on that because now God has allowed y'all to be married 24 months and they were fussing over Chip Sunday. Okay.
Mm,
And I said, that's just a symptom. I said, we
exactly.
got to get to that place where we're not adversaries. We're not competitors. You're my
Hmm.
compliment. You're the love of my life. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
We're teammates. We're on
That's
the same
good.
team.
That's really good.
What
Now
would it
with
look
That's
that,
like?
good.
What would it look like for Zeke and Tony P to be fighting over the football? Who gonna run the football? How would that look on a field, on a team, on national wide television? We fighting over the ball and we the same team.
I got you.
Mm.
And
Now I
winnable.
want to I want to jump on top of what Yella said, and I agree 100%. Maintenance is a very very high priority, but for me, my one word is commitment, and I want to tell you a story. I'm gonna tell you a
Okay.
story. Got married at 19 years old. Went back to Italy because I was in the army. Separated. She stayed
Wow.
with my folks for a couple of
Wow.
months. I came back to Fort Bragg. Got a place. I wanted to rent furniture. Aaron Rents, not a commercial, but that was a company. And she said, no, wait till I get there and we'll do it together. Okay,
Okay.
so all I had was a Sansui rack system with a remote control, dual cassettes, and all of that nonsense that young folks don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But anyway,
Sansui, Lord.
and no furniture. My wife shows up and we start building a little bit at a time. Anyway, we're in the bathroom. She's in the bathroom handling her business. I'm on my way to work. And she farted on the toilet. And she
Uh-huh.
was devastated. And she looked
No.
at me. I said, baby, don't worry about that. You got the rest of your life to fart with me. And she felt she tells this story to this day. We were married for less than a year. And she says, you know what? I knew that we were in a freaking loving relationship when you said that. She was so
Amen.
embarrassed. And I think I was shaving or brushing my teeth. Like, baby, don't worry about that fart. You got the rest of your life to fart with me. 37, almost 37 years later, she can fart all she wants. My point
Right.
is commitment. I knew I
Yeah.
was going to be with that woman till death do us part because that's what I told her.
Yeah.
Zamaya, you got to pass gas in front of that man. You don't really love
One
somebody till
time.
you pass gas in front of them. One good one. Tomorrow, after y'all eat all that food tomorrow, just hold one and just let it out tomorrow night.
Listen, look,
And
look.
bring and bring
I'll do
bring
you
the
one better.
bring the
I'll do you one
Febreze.
better. After she pooted that first time many, many moons ago, I watched babies come out of that woman. You think I cared about a fart?
Right.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
But
So
I
the
wanna
buzzword for Yella is maintenance, and I understand that's very. But for
Yeah.
me, it's commitment. I knew I was going to be with this woman for the rest of
there
my
you
life,
go.
and she's downstairs right now.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
can I just
But
And
add
and
this
that was
one
a
part?
come on, come on,
Go
come on.
ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, Yella. Go ahead, Yella. I go after
but
Yella. Go ahead.
but before I forget my train of thought, when Doc was sitting up here talking about how we correlate, especially between he and I, golf and life lessons and dealing with this relationship thing and the maintenance of whatever it is you're trying to maintain. The one thing, and I'm going to do this from golf and translate it into the relationship. The one thing that all golfers consistently work on in maintenance is touch. Once you lose your touch, your whole golf game goes away. Now, I'm going to transfer that. If you lose your touch to your mate, if you lose your touch by
Mm,
the genteelness of your touch, the
That's right.
thought of your touch, the moment you lose that, you become very hard in your approach. You don't know how to
Yeah,
approach things with any type of genteelness. So if you have maintenance in your heart, make sure that your maintenance and your touch coincide because it's crucial to your
that's right.
relationship to make sure that that happens.
That's
you know
good.
what?
Zamaya.
You
That's
know,
good.
Oh, wait,
I
I
want
gotta
to
say this
add.
real quick. Zamaya, and I don't want this to be funny. It's gonna rhyme, but I don't mean for it to rhyme. But Zamaya, how can you trust a man with your heart if you can't trust him with your fart?
He's a poet, and we didn't even know it.
And we didn't even
Make
know
a
it.
rhyme any old
Lord have
time.
mercy. No,
Go
I was
ahead,
gonna
JT.
say,
Go ahead, JT.
well, just two things. One, for all those who are asking, hopefully Goldie will invite me to the golf trip. I'm just a flight away. I'm left-handed. I got clubs, so maybe they'll throw me a bone because I felt unloved in that moment. But it's fine. I mean, I went to dinner with the man. It ain't like I could fly down there and come. But anyway, so um, you know what I'm saying? I can meet his wife, but I can't play golf. I can meet his wife, but I can't play golf. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Uh, the other thing I would say about preventive maintenance for any young man who's listening, you have to not only do maintenance, you're going to have times where you're going to have repairs. You're
That,
going to have times where you have improvements. And
Yes.
when you have repairs, it's because you said something or done something stupid. And sometimes, with most times with women, repairs take a while.
yeah,
They take
take
a
a little
while,
while.
it
Yeah,
take a little while. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And then improvements is that just grow with the lady you want. Just be
Yes.
understanding that her taste might change. She gonna want to step a game up. We coming up on 20 years. I told my wife, I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting you a ring. She was like, oh yeah, I'm so excited. Let me show you what I've been looking. I said, whoa, 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 that's a little bigger than the budget. Let me hold on. Let's wait till 25 because I was like, my brain ain't like that. And I wanted to get mad, but I realized that she values our relationship at a whole nother level.
that's good.
You know what
That's
I'm saying?
good.
And I just want to say that to a lot of guys because sometimes when you make a mistake and you want to do maintenance on yourself before you do maintenance on her. The
That's
more
good.
you grow and learn as a man, the better you are as a husband. A lot of husbands
Yes.
fail because
That's
they
right.
spend more time trying to fix the woman they got instead of becoming a better man that they need to chase after. Ain't
That you
nothing,
bet.
ain't nothing greater than a woman being married to a man who's growing. Because after a while, you ain't got to say much. When you're improving, she gets the stares.
She
She
sees it.
gets the comment,
She sees
boy,
it.
he sure is growing. Boy, he looking fine about it. Day. He taking care, girl. You better hold on to that. But when you bitter and angry, them women will say the total opposite. Your husband is
Facts.
trash. You better
That's
get
right.
rid of it. So
How
This
did
is
you
what
I
That's
people
think
stay
miss,
exactly
preventive
though.
right.
so
maintenance
long?
is improvement
And
is
I
good.
agree
Yeah.
with you, JT, but this is what people miss. As a relationship, you as a man want to improve. She as a woman wants to improve, but together you need to improve the relationship. You can't be two individuals. You know what I'm
That
Right.
saying?
No doubt. No doubt.
Together, you need to
Mhm.
improve the relationship. Because if the
And the
relationship
other.
gets stagnant and you get better and she gets better, but the relationship doesn't grow with you, that's when you start moving apart.
I totally agree because I think you have to work on area. Like for me, my temperament is very strong. I'm super intense. So with my
yeah.
wife, I had to learn that when I talk to her, she doesn't want my intensity and she doesn't want me to be repetitive in my correction. So what
That's
I
right.
had to learn how to do is I can't say things 12 times. I got to say it once or twice.
That's
And I
right.
had to work on my temperament. So I had to learn emotional intelligence in order
That's
to show emotional intelligence. I had to
that's
learn how to
right.
be a better communicator in order to give her the right communication. Because one of the things that I find in marriage is I saw this video where this girl said, she was like, no, it was a young man. I don't know if y'all saw this video. It's always this little light skinned kid. He got the little
Right.
baby hairs on the front of his locks. He do
Right.
the most. He always got his chest out like a fake Ricky Martin. And he'll be up there talking about, you know what I'm saying? If I pay for all the bills and I take care of you, I shouldn't have a little problem with me cheating every now and again. If
Yeah.
I got all this money, I pay all the bills. And I'm looking at him And I'm thinking to myself
What you
that
thinking?
this is what our young men are hearing on a regular basis
Yep.
because they're too afraid to say, you're scared.
Yes.
You're scared to be in love with one woman and be faithful. You're
Right.
scared that she would leave you by yourself because we built this reputation on a conqueror, not a committed man.
Mhm.
You.
There it
So
is.
conqueror is our role. So there's a big difference between being a conqueror. A conqueror just wants to
That's
smash.
good.
A
That's
committed
good.
man wants to be in a relationship. So if you base all your relationships on your money and your looks and your fashion, why you're gonna automatically be lonely.
That's
Because
good.
once you
Well,
lose the money, you lose the woman. But if you got a good woman that you fell in love with for who you are and for who she is, now your foundation is so much stronger to grow together. But
yeah,
I
that's
digress
good.
on that. I think a lot of men
Frenchie,
don't think that way.
Frenchie, you ready to come on the hot seat, Frenchie? We said you're gonna be with us
See,
this week tonight. Are you ready to come on the hot seat? And now I'm gonna say something, and the ladies may leave the room when I say this, and they may quit us after I say this. A woman wants to be submissive / follow a man who's willing to lead. A woman she wants to follow a good man. She wants to follow a JT, a Goldie, a Rory, a Phil, a Dr. Sin. A woman wants that. It is a woman wants to be able to relax. I gave that homework this morning. A woman wants to be able to relax and say, I can trust my husband. And many men, to JT's point, many men cower down from that because I gotta leave.
Right.
Oops.
You got to show them
And
love
like
now.
Phil said a few weeks ago, you got to have your stuff together. If you
Right.
want to be, you want to be the head honcho, your stuff got to be tight. Everybody want to lead until they get in that spot. And them bullets coming at you 100 miles an hour.
yeah.
Hey, you out front.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
go.
so out
Let's
front.
go.
And can we say this? Can we say a man should be able to lead with emotional intelligence, not just money, not just having a nice
That's
car,
right.
not just with violence, but I should be able to lead in my family being calm, in control, compassionate, understanding. Because I think I said again, we get robbed of being gentle because we was taught
Right.
since we was kids, don't you cry, don't you get
Right.
emotional, don't you do this, you better
Exactly.
man up.
That's
We
right.
got robbed of that. And here's the thing that I get frustrated with. I might not be a nurturer to my children the way that I need to be, but when it comes to my wife, I should be the biggest nurturer of them all.
That's
I should be the biggest
that's good.
nurturer of my wife. Baby, you got this.
Mm.
I love you. You can make it. It's okay. I see the strength in you. Women need that. If you
Yeah.
pour into the kids all day long, your wife pour into the kids all day long, and she come to you and she frustrated, that's when you bail her out. That's when you say, babe,
Yeah.
you mad? Come here. Just lay on top of me. Be mad at me.
Yeah.
And then say some other stuff. Oh, I got something for that aggression now. If you want to work that
Yeah.
thing now, if you really want to put that to work,
And
come over
I
here to
just
Big
saw
Daddy.
I
Let me
just
go on.
saw that's good. I just saw a comment, and the young lady, you're 1,000% correct. Because I'm the leader of my family, it's not that I'm usurping and flexing and controlling everything. Is that I understand that for us to flow, I have to lead my family. You
Yeah.
have to
Right.
trust
Mhm.
me enough. I have to be able to lead my family. Phil has a great example. His wife was handling things while he was gone. And when he
I was
came
gonna
home,
say
all
that.
he had to do was just get in line. Come on, Phil.
I was gonna say that. People forget what leadership is.
Mhm.
Leadership doesn't mean I tell you what to do. That means you're the boss. Leadership is making sure that the mission is accomplished by any means necessary. And sometimes you have to delegate authority to that woman or that child or whoever else is the family to help you get there. Sweetie, I got to do this. I need you to do this, 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 and this. Baby, I'm out of the country for 6 months. You need to hold down the family, blah, blah, blah. You need to be able to comfortably delegate authority because you're still trying to accomplish that mission. It's straight from military man. And
And I
my
add
wife's done
this.
that for me.
Yeah, and I add this. Every now and then, as a leader, you have to make some calls that everybody's not going to like.
True.
But your
Right.
family trusts you enough. Okay, if that's what daddy said, if that's what my husband said, if that's what my baby said, let's roll out.
Mhm.
And you have to
But
support that
also
decision. Come on.
but also leadership is to be able to say, you know what? Your idea was better than mine. Let's do it your way.
Yes, that's so good.
Glad you said it
What you
like
gonna
that.
say, Goldie?
I'm gonna go ahead and bring this. Y'all know me. I love analogies. So if we're talking about leadership, There's also stars. So if can someone be a leader and also let someone else be the star? Perfect
Absolutely.
example.
Ooh.
Perfect example.
Absolutely.
Watch ballroom dancing. 9 times out of 10, the man is leading, but who's the star?
The lady.
That's
It's
that's
always
Lady
the
is
good.
the
woman.
star.
It's the woman
That's
that's
Yeah.
always
good.
capturing the spotlight. The man
Come
is
on.
leading, directing, telling her with steps to move. They've practiced it. They know what they want to do.
That's
So
Hmm.
good,
the
Goldie.
man the man
That's
can be
good.
that leader. Let the
But
man
we
be
ain't
that
looking at
leader.
his ass.
The spotlight's definitely not on him for sure, for sure. But listen, allow the star to shine. You don't,
That's
and
good.
Right.
sometimes
Right.
people
That's
can
super
lead from
good.
behind. People
Hmm.
can lead from in the shadows and allow
Hmm.
someone else's star to shine. So
Hmm.
for me, if you're talking about being a leader, go ahead and take that ballroom analogy. You can go
That's
ahead
right.
and
That's
be the
really
lead.
good.
You can go ahead and have the hand
That's
and the
good.
hand
That's
around the
good.
waist and twirl her
That's
around and
good.
whatnot. But let her be the star.
That's
And I'm
good.
I'm good on that.
And
That's
I'm
really good. That
I'm
is
gonna use my
really that
cowboy
was hey,
analogy
that was
real
good.
quick. I'm
Oh
gonna use my
Lord.
cowboy
Oh
analogy
Lord.
real quick. OBJ and Jerry Jones, they're flirting with each other right now. OBJ is flirting coming to the Cowboys. And one of the, I think somebody was talking about today on Speak. I think Joe and them were talking about it today. If OBJ comes to the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb is not going to be bothered. Michael Gallup is not going to be bothered because they know OBJ won a Super Bowl with the Rams. He's going to help us win a Super Bowl. They hoisting that Lombardi Trophy February, the first Sunday in February. They do not care. They signed OBJ in November. We're on the same team. So I'm a team leader. I'm the number one receiver. Dak
Hmm.
Prescott is the leader of that team. It doesn't
Hmm.
matter who's the star. We all going to get a
Hmm.
ring together. It's
Yeah,
teamwork.
yeah,
Makes the
yeah.
dream work.
That's good. That's good. But hold on, y'all. Let's be clear. He's also flirting with us too. He ain't faithful to nobody right now. So anyway,
Right.
uh
Facts.
anyway,
Big facts.
can I say this one
Big facts.
analogy too?
Come on, come
Ladies,
on.
don't look at your husband as somebody who's over top of you. Look at somebody who's out in front of you. If he's the one leading by example with his words, with his actions, how he governs himself, how he talks. Because I'm teaching my son, when Joker sang that song, "Can I Get to the Yams?" I said it better be the one your mom cooked, because ain't nobody raising nobody over here. Uh,
That's good. That's good.
but he had the conversation with me about, goes back to what Sneaky was talking about two lions in the house. And the one thing my son said is, I don't know if I'm ready to be. He said, I don't know if I ever want to get married, because watching you and mommy, there is a responsible for me to lead with a lot of love and compassion. And I'm super selfish right now, Dad.
That
And I started crying, and he was like, "Oh, Dad,
That's a
why you getting
wise
all
kid.
emotional?" And I started crying. I said, "I'm crying not because you said you
that's
didn't want to
good.
get married. I'm crying because I didn't fail you."
That's a
Because
Right.
good
you've
word.
seen the
That's a good
bad,
word.
you've seen the
Sheesh.
bad side of me as a dad, where I failed your
Wow.
mother. He said, but he said, that's cool, Dad. He said, the only thing he said, the thing I didn't like about you is the thing I admire about you now. You always apologize. If you
How
fail,
about
you was
that?
willing to be like, that's my fault. That's how I was. He said, sometimes you was apologizing when I ain't think it was necessary. I don't understand. And then we had this conversation about that, because he's at that phase that Sneaky's talking about, where him and his mother had a conversation, and I had to let him know. We had to have that man to man conversation. Sneaky, you know what I'm talking about? Where it's like, I
Yes.
could change your life. I could change, like, if you stronger than me, which he is. He just hit his 225 mark on the bench. I will shoot
Okay.
you. Okay, I will.
No,
You
but
ain't
you
gonna
know
In
disrespect
the
my
big
wife.
toe.
what I
Right.
I
Right, right. In
appreciate
the big
what I
toe.
appreciate about you, JT, is you're raising a thinker.
Yeah.
You're
That's good.
raising
Yes,
a thinker.
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And he sounds respectful. You know you can't lead if you don't follow. And and
Yeah.
you've raised a follower and a thinker. He's not a nug. No, he's a
Yeah.
Right,
thinker. I
right.
appreciate that
That's
about you,
good.
brother. I appreciate that.
Matter of fact.
That's a dangerous
Go
man.
ahead. I want to show y'all something.
Go ahead. Come on,
That
Rory. You
young
had your
man,
finger up.
that young man
Oh
being
no, I was
I think
acknowledging
is
the
a
people in the comments. I'm
dangerous.
just enjoying this conversation. I'm on
Thank
the.
you, Rory. Thank you. He's
I,
one of our great moderators, y'all. Rory is the man. Y'all give him a golf clap. Give Rory a golf clap.
come on,
So
come on.
so so
Hey,
say hello to the guys.
How you doing?
What's
How you
up, y'all?
doing, young man?
Okay.
Welcome to the Blue
So,
Table Talk.
so my favorite line is first seek to understand, then to
Be understood
okay, do the right
That's
thing at the
good.
right time,
for the right reasons with the right motivation.
right? And be if I say to you and I fail you when I do something wrong, like I did something wrong the other day, matter of fact, when I was yelling at y'all getting in the car coming from practice, what was the first response afterwards?
Um,
Good.
I forgot.
I apologize.
Oh, yeah. I
Okay.
apologize, and then you explain why you're upset.
And then I explained to you why I was upset.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just wanted them to see that
Yeah,
part
yeah.
about it.
That's
You
good.
almost look
That's
better than
good.
me too. You almost look better than me. But anyway, go ahead on now. You ain't there yet though.
Oh, wait, can you bring him
Uh,
back? Bring him back. Bring him back real quick.
Yeah,
Please
bring
bring him
it
back.
back.
JJ, come back. Come back, JJ.
Hey,
That's
you don't
good.
know me from Jump Street. I just want to say I appreciate you, and you're valuable, young man. You are valuable.
Same.
We appreciate you, man.
Oh, get it.
Yeah, tell him. Can y'all tell him it's not time for no marriage though, and no
No,
sex.
no,
Go
no,
ahead
no,
and
no, no.
share that
Use
with
your
him.
mind. Look,
Wait.
use your mind. Don't use these. Use your mind.
That's
Graduate.
right.
Real. Wait
Right.
on.
Let your focus stay focused,
I'm,
sir.
That's good
I'm
Let your
stuff.
sorry,
focus
Jay.
That's good
stay
I'm
stuff.
sorry,
focused.
JT. I only know how to talk one way, man. I'm sorry.
We also saw a comment, and y'all can chime in on this about the maintenance piece of it, because one person chimed in and said, "Well, you know what? I'm challenged. How do you tangibly do that?" And that's why I gave the quote that I did. Kiss me like it's the first time, hold me like it may be the last. It's the little things, it's the daily things that we do. It's just part, it's routine. Date night, having what I call a no judgment zone, where you both sit down and maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes once a week or however often, and be honest with each other with no judgment. You know what? I did not like the way you said what you said. Really, I didn't mean anything. My mind, I had 1,000 things on my mind. I apologize. Like JT and your son, to your credit, he said, "Daddy, you always apologize. You know, we don't get it right all the
Yeah,
time. So you have to
yeah.
physically do things and put things physically, be tangible. Do some tangible things to work on your
Mm-hmm.
relationship. Treat each other like
Yeah.
friends. How your friend? How you
Mm-hmm.
Learn.
treat your friend? How do you talk to your
Yeah,
friend? How do you talk to your mom
yeah,
and them? You know, you got to
With
be
all
very intentional about your relationship.
But
with
mm,
all the
your
maintenance that we talked
apology,
about.
your
Oh,
apology has to be as big, if not bigger, than the fuck up.
then you're
Yeah.
that's right.
Right. You
You can't
said
be
you
like
said that before.
and then say I'm sorry at home. No, if you screw
Right.
up in
No,
public, you
that's
apologize
what
in public
I apologize for
in
that.
front of the
Yeah.
same people
Yeah.
you screwed up in front of. I'm sorry,
My,
fam.
my whole thing with that is that when we talking about maintenance and this that and the third, you must also learn how to maintain an argument. A lot of people just fly off the handle and just say whatever,
mm.
whenever, however.
That's good.
If you
That's
don't know how
good.
to maintain an argument, then you will never finish an argument. Sometimes we always like to say who won that argument.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
When it's dealing with relationships, it's not about winning, it's about resolving. How
Yeah.
did you
That's
Mm,
what I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
resolve?
That's what
How
I was
did
gonna
you
say. It's about
resolve?
finishing. How did you
It's
fit?
about
Yes,
finishing.
resolve.
Well,
Yes.
finishing is one thing, but if you finished it, was it resolved? Because you
mm,
could
Exactly.
finish it for that day, and then it will carry on the next day. So I
mm-hmm.
That's
want to just say, finish it. Was it resolved?
I
So
that
agree.
is
Yeah,
that is
learn
so. I like that.
learn
yeah,
how to argue. Learn how to
yeah.
argue your point. And also, ladies,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a little sidebar. This is a little game. Um, and I heard this today, and I'm so glad it's kind of apropos right now. To maintain that relationship, we understand in the world that women have been conditioned to be quiet and they want to talk the moment they get home. Men, the world is so loud for us. So when we come home, we just want a piece of quiet.
Just
So
a
when
Yeah.
little.
we come home, when we come home and we immediately come from the door to the bathroom, it's not because we really got to go. We just need that 5 minutes. We just need 5 minutes just to get ourselves together before we carry on the
Yes,
conversation.
That's good, bro.
And we
You know, wait,
understand
wait.
That's
that when
good.
you all go out into the work world and you're out there in the corporate world and you're in a man's world, the man are gonna tell you to be quiet, but you got so much to say. So when you come home, you can't wait to be like, baby, can you believe? And can you? But when we get home, we
Yeah.
need 5 minutes.
Just
Five
five.
minutes.
Because
Jet,
I
wait,
Jet,
think
I got five on it. I got, hold
I
on,
got
Phil.
it.
Hold on. Put this in your
Yeah,
notes for doing this, Phil. Put this in your notes real
yeah.
quick. I taught this in class. I teach this to my state students. I teach this in class when it's talking about communication, and I call it. And this is not a religious show to that comment, but we're spiritual men. We love who we love. Okay, we're not preaching a religion. We just love who we love, and we are spiritual men. Okay, but write this in your notes
Dr.
quick. I got
Sims.
Phil. I don't want him to lose this thought, but it's the communication golden rule. Write this down. Speak like you want to be spoken to.
Speak like you want to
You-
be spoken to. The lady called Goldie it sounds light skinned.
Oh,
Oh,
but
she
I,
got
Hey,
jokes.
he yellow
She
by
got
yellow, right?
jokes.
He yellow by yellow,
Yellow
right?
by
yellow by
yellow.
She is.
yellow.
She
And
is
I tell
yellow.
people this.
Yeah.
She,
I told somebody this the other day. I told my wife this the other day. I said, I hope I get to Goldie's age where I'm using big words and my voice is deeper. Because he talked about being Gentile, and then he said something a few minutes ago, another one. So I want to be
He
able
said
to be like,
apropos. He said apropos.
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 You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to walk in the house and be like, I need things to be apropos. I need people
But
to be on.
I want to say this before I forget it. I want to say this.
Come on,
I want to say
Phil.
this before I forget it. And this is a weird dynamic, and I agree with what we just said. But I have a new job now where I work with no days the same. I got people that are drug addicts. I got to deal with people that are wackadoo. I got to deal with people with Alzheimer's. All kind of people. Sometimes they're violent. Sometimes they're not. So I don't come home and dip for those 5 minutes. It's crazy. I come home, my wife, maybe one or two of my daughters, like, tell me how your day was. What happened? Because it's crazy.
Hmm.
I
So I'll
know,
walk
right?
in at midnight because I work from 12 to midnight some days. And my wife and one of my daughters is like, we couldn't wait for you to get home. Is everything okay? Tell me about your day. They
That
want
is
to
good.
see what I did. I was like, listen, we did this, blah, 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 blah. But I understand. Sometimes I do get spent, and sometimes I do need that.
It's
We'll go
it,
back to
it's
where we were
drain.
two,
It's
3 weeks
draining.
ago.
It's
We need
draining.
that. We need that peace. Sometimes we need that peace.
Mhm.
But
yes,
right
sir.
now, I'm not at that point. Right now, that we are even keeled and peaceful. Now we're at a supportive state. We're always supportive, but now it's. Let me say this: relationships change. Sometimes you're in a slump where you need to boost each other up. Sometimes
Hmm.
you're not where you can just support each other happily. I'm at that point now. Okay. Now, I'm not saying
Hmm.
after Thanksgiving or after Christmas, we might have a downturn,
Mhm.
but you can't get in your brain that how you think the relationship's going to be is how it's going to be. You just got to roll with the punches. You got to go with it. Sometimes you're on a high.
Hmm.
Sometimes you got to push through.
That's right.
Sometimes you're good and she's not. Sometimes she's good and you're not. But
Right.
get out of your head that everything's going to be perfect and get out of your head that everything's going to suck. You just got to see how it is
That's good.
and you got to go from there.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good evening again, everybody. We're heading into a little bit of overtime. We'll spend a little extra time with you. We getting ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow. Hope happy holidays to everybody. We're having a great conversation tonight. We got Phil, we got Goldie, Yellowfy Yellow, we got Rory, the Storm, we got JT in the building, and you got Dr.
Hmm.
Sam. We're having a great conversation tonight. I hope y'all are taking some good notes. And next week, and once a month, we're gonna do this. We're gonna have Battle of the Sexes. You got Goldie and Rory, team one, and team two is Sneaky and JT. And we got some. I've talked to one young lady. If you want to battle the sexes, you want to be on Battle of the Sexes, email me. Blue Table Talk for Men at gmail.com. We got you. If you want to chime
Hmm.
in with us, and one of the things we're gonna talk about next week, why, and this is male or female, and you can talk about it from your perspective, the men can talk about it and the women can talk about it. Why do we, and a woman admitted this, and I sent it to the team, a woman admitted this. Why can't you apologize? Why can't you say you're wrong? Why you always defensive when we're talking? She said, Number one, I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to deal with it, and I feel like I'm right all the time. She actually said that in an interview. She said, I don't want to be told I'm wrong, and we're gonna debate that
Mm,
next week. Why do
hmm.
we lack accountability? Why can't we raise
Yeah.
our hand like JT said a few minutes ago, and he majored and say, "Listen, you know what? I apologize. That was my bad.
Yeah.
I can fall on that
Yeah.
sword this time. That's my bad. That's my
Yeah.
bad.
I, I,
I'll
I,
take it."
I, I worry that this generation will never be able to grow from a, let me say it this way, everybody experiences a broken heart.
Amen.
Yes.
What I have realized is a lot of men haven't actually had a lot of relationships. They have had a lot of insults. And so what happens is when men have had insults about how they look, how they dress, they don't got no swagger, and everything with us is a competition. So if you're a company not being considered a high level man, I'll use myself for the record. I'm married at 12, but I'm a strong 6.5. Then I got
Okay.
braces. I became a 7. You know what I'm saying? I'm a strong 7. And guess what? The difference between me and most men is I'm okay with that. My
Yeah.
goal was never to be a supermodel. My goal was never to be the most attractive man in the world. I dealt with reality. God, I just need one good woman to love me. I I don't need 50 people to sleep with because I have seen I got 2 older brothers. I watched my older brother be married 3 times. I watched my older cousins, because Nigerian people, we have babies, huh? Multiple children,
Baby's
right? Babies, right? And so I
All right.
watched I watched so many men struggle with having multiple baby mothers and struggle with battling depression and arguing and fighting and going through. And I thought to myself, well, why are y'all tripping on me when I say I just want to love one person?
Right.
Because we made relationships a competition and not a commitment. We've made it a competition. We made it conquering and competition instead of commitment and care. And I want to know what y'all thoughts on that is because I'm
That's
frustrated
good.
trying to teach the
That's
next
good.
generation that care and
Well,
commitment is way more powerful. I don't want to compete with another man over 3, 5 different women. That's just weird. It's like,
That's
you know what
good.
I'm saying?
But again, it goes back to what are we watching? What's in front of us? And what are we watching? What is popular? What's promoted? Commitment is not celebrated,
Mm-hmm.
but
It
having
really
well,
is.
multiple
see,
baby mamas, that's
Wow,
celebrated.
that's true. That
see,
is
now
true.
another thing is people can fall in. They don't have to like me worth a damn, but people can fall in love with the image. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You
For
talked about it.
years,
That's good,
Ranger
Peaches.
instructor. I was a senior drill sergeant. But they'd show up and I done freaking trained your kids and blah blah blah. But I'm standing in front with the uniform and blah 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 blah. And I ain't gonna lie, as a senior drill sergeant, moms and grandmoms were they terrible, terrible. I've had
Mhm.
hotel keys left in my hand. I was telling the story today. A lady full mouth kissed me in front of my wife.
Say what?
I was standing in front of a formation. We were getting ready to graduate. I'm sorry, turning blue sir infantry, where you get your blue cord and blah blah blah. So we had a formation. I had my basic trainees at open ranks march. Rory, you know where I'm at. They're spread out enough so people to walk between them.
Yep.
Okay. And this lady walks up and says, "Senior drill." She says, "Drill sergeant, I can't find my son. His name was Montgomery. I called him Ward." Think about it.
I
Anyway,
got you. I got
she
you.
says,
I
"I
got
can't find my son." I said, "Private Ward, front and center." He runs up. She didn't recognize. He was a fat kid when I got him. He was a skinny kid when I got done. She didn't recognize her son. Anyway, he hugged her and they talked. He got back in formation. She says, "Drill Sergeant, you've done such a great job." Now we're in formation in front of the crowd, and she's like, "Drill Sergeant, you've done such a great job. Can I kiss you?" And I was right in the middle of, "Ma'am, I prefer if you didn't." I got as far as, "Ma'am, I prefer if," pow, my wife and daughter was in the crowd. This lady, I'm
Wow.
talking about, held me by my face and laid one on me, and I was like, I stayed at parade. I stayed at parade rest with my hands behind me because I was afraid to move my hands because I didn't want my wife to think I was trying to hug her back. So she
It
walked
was her,
away.
baby. It was all
My
her.
wife's giving me the fu look.
but
But
baby, it
that
was
lady
not
kissed
me.
the
I did not kiss her back.
yeah,
I didn't even open my mouth. I
but
didn't open my mouth.
but that lady appreciated and kissed the image because she didn't know me at all. She walked up that day. She kissed a senior
Okay.
drill sergeant that did something for her son. Okay.
I
That's
tell you
right.
what.
Now I was on the receiving end of a oh shit, but anyway, sometimes they can fall in love with the image. And if you're
Yeah.
portraying something strong or portraying something sweet or portraying whatever you're portraying, some women will like that, even if you're faking
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
Even
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
faking it.
And
I
this
just
will
want to
lead
throw
into
that
the
out there.
battle. This will be lead into the battle of the sexes next week. Why
Yeah.
is that so? Why do we make relationships so hard? Because a lot of people, women and men, fall in love with the idea
Yeah.
of
Hmm.
being married and in a committed relationship. I love
That
the
idea.
idea, but you don't realize how much work it takes. We
It
love the
really is.
idea of being rich and famous and out there in those streets, but it's a level of responsibility because you can't like in that lifestyle, you can't be public and private at the same time. Because
Hmm.
when you get to that status, a lot of people talking about, oh, hey, the paparazzi are always around me, but that's what you build. You
Right.
built that.
Yes.
You built to
Hmm.
live on camera, and then you get mad you're living on camera. You can't have it both
That's true.
ways. You can't
That's
be
so true.
single and married at the same time. And I
Right.
think
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
it
so
bleed.
true.
battle.
It,
That's so
yeah,
true.
Come
it
on.
bleeds over. It bleeds
It
over.
does. It
You
does.
are both. You are the image, and you are
That's
you.
right.
And if you try to keep them
Hmm.
separate, you're still in the middle. It's gonna bleed over.
Yeah. Can
Yeah.
I ask a question?
I
I just
Come
need
on,
to ask a
JT.
question.
Come on, JT.
Rory, you single?
Yes.
Because you know what? You know how I know these comments is lit, brother. I just wanted to say you still got your swagger, brother, because you got hey big head, hey all that, and you smiling and all that. Hey, listen, Rory. I was living vicariously through you for about 10 seconds. I had to catch
10
Yeah.
myself.
Oh,
seconds.
I had to
Rory is
catch
a
myself.
beast. Rory is
Rory is
a
the beast. I said
beast.
because you know he was
He's
over
a
there like
ninja for real.
yeah,
Rory
because
is a
he was over
ninja.
there
He's
like
a ninja.
I'm just saying, Rory, because he was like, hey, hey, all right now, okay, y'all good, all right, ladies, bang bang,
All
pow
right
Hey,
now.
pow.
hey,
Okay,
he look, he tipped his hat a little bit. He's like, sup.
what's up? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you
Uh,
know what I'm saying?
He all in the camera doing this.
Yeah, I
Rory.
know. You saw that, right? You saw the little
Oh
heart
Oh,
yeah.
I
action,
Oh
seen
right?
him. I peeped it.
that didn't
That's my
slide
little
by
brother.
though.
You know he the little
Listen,
That didn't
brother. You know
slide
we
by.
watching him.
hey,
You know we
listen,
watching little brother. He's
Rory.
sitting up. Hey,
Listen,
Jay,
Rory.
Goldie
Jay.
sitting here talking. Goldie going all deep. Hey, listen, this is
Mm.
apropos to this conversation. He all like
You
this.
know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you
Look,
notice his Rory Hart's was real quick. They were like, there was real
Yeah, he
quick,
ain't want nobody in this
just to
business,
give you a
man.
taste of it. Just to let you know, yeah, I
Yeah,
got it. Yeah,
yeah.
it's all
I
good.
said
I see
Rory
you.
out here.
look. Hey, Rory. I guess I ain't the only one that's sneaky in here.
Uh, uh, I saw it. I saw it.
Killing me. No, killing me.
Lord have mercy, boy.
Look,
Are
I'm
you
sitting
feeling
here.
Oh,
attacked
that
now,
was
sir?
hilarious.
I'm
No, it's cool. It's cool.
all the wisdom. I'm on the bench. I'm the sixth man tonight. I'm just out here listening to all this wisdom, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
You
yeah,
good?
yeah. Clean it up, Roy. Good job. Way to bring it back to the
no,
topic.
and I'm just in
Good
the
job.
conversations, man. I'm playing my role. So we talked
Good
about
job, buddy.
we talked about a leader and a star. John Starks was a hell of a sixth man. So I
Yes,
can
he.
come out. So
Facts.
Tony
I
Kukoc,
Oh,
six man
man.
award.
what?
Oh, man.
Or if I'm coming off the bench, I'm going to play my role. John Starks knew his role. When it was time for him to shoot, he was a shooter. When it was time for him to penetrate, he
That's
was
good.
hey, it's not my time to talk. We
Wait,
talking
wait,
about
no. You know what? You Rodman. You the worm. You the worm.
Yeah, you
I
know,
just want the
Yeah,
ball
he the
more than
one.
everybody else.
I don't have to
Listen,
score. I just have to
listen.
rebound.
He
He
all about the
using words.
rebound. All
He's
about the
he's
All
using
rebound.
about the
words like
rebound.
he's using words like score and penetrate. I'm like, brother, you ain't
Penetrate,
helping
right?
yourself. You need to use other words. you need
I
to
love
use other
y'all.
words. You
I
going in the
love
wrong
y'all.
direction. You going in the wrong direction. You
well,
supposed
I
to use
can't
words like
hear.
Y'all off your chain.
commitment.
Y'all
You
off
helping me
your
to grow.
chain.
But no, I appreciate. I'm trying to keep the comments intact. I acknowledge the people in the comments, playing my part. And so when I
Yeah,
get the
right.
gift, show my love. I show my love for the gifts. You know, I'll give
Hey,
them
when's
flowers.
the
Thank you.
That is good. Yeah,
the get together? When
well,
we gonna do the get
JT,
together? Atlanta.
yeah, JT, We working on that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
still
yeah.
got a couple of fillers out trying to get us a location. So as soon as I know something, I'm gonna let y'all know, and I'm gonna give myself
I'm
a
there.
deadline of next Wednesday having a
Location where?
time and a place. And Atlanta, Georgia. Y'all feeling Atlanta?
I'm there. I
Yes.
can get there.
Hey, listen, y'all come here, y'all gonna get treated well, baby. You're gonna get
I'm
treated
there.
well, baby. Come on, we're gonna have a
Okay,
good
and I
time. You know what I'm
J,
saying?
JT and I JT and I will have a committee, and I'll call and I'll talk to him offline, and we'll find us a venue and a spot, and we'll meet together and fellowship. So we want to do something before December 31st, and so I'll take an action item to get with him between now and next Wednesday,
Okay.
and we're gonna make some
Yeah,
things
that'll be
happen. I
good.
got another surprise for y'all. We're working on a T-shirt design, and the
Come
Hey,
table
on.
is just we playing off table. So we're
Yeah,
working on getting T-shirts made. So we got
yeah,
some things in the works, and we got a
yeah,
conference. We
yeah.
want to do a conference. We want to do a cruise. We got a lot of things in the works. So
Good, good,
JT, you
good.
lead off with some final comments and
Yeah,
give some words of wisdom this
yeah.
holiday Thanksgiving season, and you lead off, and we'll end it with Phil.
Okay, good. So first of all, I want to say that as I find this information, I won't be like Goldie and not share it. But anyway, if we play golf, I'm gonna make sure he there. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. I ain't gonna leave you out there sneaky. You know what I'm saying? Rory, you know what I'm saying? And Rory, you know what I'm saying? Bring your Bible when you come to Atlanta, brother. They like them dark chocolate and older. Okay, bring your Bible, your King James Bible. Perfect. Don't bring no New Message Bible out here. They ain't gonna help you. Uh, but I would say this. I like the ending part about maintenance. Maintenance is key. Maintenance, I want every man to realize that he needs to have preventive, he needs to have productive, and he has to also realize he's going to have repairs. If you want to have a healthy marriage, realize that you're going to have tough times in marriage. You're going to need maintenance. The maintenance is really just making sure you're maintaining the love for the woman that you got. And it's going to get hard sometimes. And you're not going to have all the answers. And don't love somebody just for them to love you back. Because once you don't get it, then you want to quit. I didn't marry my wife for her to be perfect. I didn't marry my wife for her to always do everything right. I married her because I loved her and I'm committed when other times she may not be, and so vice versa as well. Because there are times she probably want to kick me to the curb, but she stays committed. And if you do that, you do the maintenance where it's preventive, it's productive, and it's repair. You'll do great. Man,
Yes.
I love y'all, man. Happy Thanksgiving to y'all,
That's good.
fathers, you brothers, man, and the
I
indigenous
love you
people too.
more.
I want to promise.
Love you, man.
Absolutely.
Peace.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Come on, Rory.
so just to reiterate, man, I just gleaning tonight. I'm just picking up the gems. A whole bunch of pearls of wisdom were dropped, and I just picked them all up and put them in my satchel. Um, as it stands right now, I'm the youngest guy in the group, man. We just gained a lot of wisdom. I hope everybody in the comments was paying attention because there was a lot of knowledge dropped tonight, and I'm just so happy to be a part of it all. With that being said, I love you guys, and hey, enjoy your dinner tomorrow.
Absolutely.
All right, man.
And
Love you,
safe
boy.
travels, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Deuces.
Come on, Goldie.
Whew. Yeah, there was a lot going on tonight. But I think what JT said, the maintenance thing, I'm going to go ahead and just re-mention about being a leader and being a star. Which one do you want to be? Which one in the relationship is going to be very appropriate for you? Where are you comfortable in? Are you going to be the leader that you can be? I'm talking about the man, or do you want to be the star? Now, both has responsibilities. Both have true
That's right.
responsibilities. So you cannot just assume because you're leading, you're not responsible for anything else that happens. You have responsibilities. If you are a star, you need to shine like a star. You have responsibilities. So basically, choose, know your position and play your role. All right. And with
Boy,
that, I'm gonna say everybody, y'all have a great Friendsgiving and eat well. Don't do nothing crazy on Black Fridays. So because you know
they,
that's the bane of everybody's existence the day after. So y'all be well. Much love to you. Love you,
the
Doc.
day,
Love your Sneaky.
thank you. Thank
Love
you,
you too,
Yellow Fire
man.
Yellow. All right, Sneaky. Sneaky, you were
And
full tonight, Sneaky. Appreciate your insights, man.
thank you, sir. Thank you. First of all, I want to say I hope we have a wonderful Indigenous Day. And I love all of them. I love JT. I love Rory. I love Yella. I love you. I want to say that. And hopefully I say that every time we have an episode. But I want to stick with the maintenance piece. Okay. Maintenance doesn't mean repairs. Maintenance means you change the oil, you change the filters, you do this, you do the things you need to do so it doesn't break. Okay,
That's
so
right.
don't confuse maintenance with repairs. If you're fixing something, you allowed it to break. That's
That's
not
right.
maintenance. That's repairs. So if it comes to a relationship, if it comes to a person that you love, you care for, and I didn't forget about you can't give a man your heart, not give him your fart. I didn't forget about that. But anyway, maintenance is to make sure that you keep everything working the way it should be, and you fix things, you keep things as they should be before they break. That way you continue
That's
moving.
right.
I love you, and that's all I got.
Man, we love you too, man. So y'all gonna eat good tomorrow.
Yes, indeed, because I'm cooking.
You can. That's good, man. Love you, boy.
Love you back.
All right. Again, that email to Miko and Zamaya are gonna be round one, and then we have two more ladies that's gonna be round two. We got team one and team two. And I need your email. I need you to email me bluetabletalkformen@gmail.com, Zamaya. Okay? bluetabletalkformen@gmail.com. Zamaya Tamiko. Hey, man, there you go, Rory. Okay, and we did say a lot of stuff tonight. Not only is preventative maintenance, it's productive maintenance, it's corrective maintenance. And I was an engineer for 30 years. Okay, and all of that is to ensure that that nuclear plant ran from what they call from beginning of life to end of life. It's a nuclear plant, so you have to change the fuel out every 18 months, and there's a whole process to do that. But relationships take time and work. And you do not want to neglect the relationship. We got a lot of things going on in relationship, in our lives, in our world. There's a lot going on, but we should not forget about each other because we're committed to each other. We're on the same team and we want us to win. The two shall become one. And that's a lot of work. You and you become one. See, only God's math arithmetic. 1 + 1 is 1. Okay, and we appreciate y'all being here. Hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for spending an hour and a half, 90 minutes with us. And these are the types of conversations that we need to have, not talking at each other, but we're talking to and with each other. And remember this quote. Remember this quote. Remember this quote. Put this on your cell phone, screenshot it, put it on your window, put it in your car, put it in the bathroom, put it on the commode, put it on the shower. How do I keep my relationship? How do I keep the fire burning? Somebody asked that tonight. A young man, young lady asked that tonight. How do I keep that fire burning? Write this down. Hashtag Dr. Sams. Kiss me like it's the first time. Hold me like it may be the last. Okay, and so we're excited about next week. Next Wednesday night, Battle of the Sexes 1. We're gonna have a great time tonight, and we're gonna talk about why is it hard for me to say, okay, my bad, I was wrong. Why do men trip like, oh, I was right? you know, why can't we, either one of us? Why can't we admit we can beat our chest all day? What being right is overrated. That's one of the things we're gonna talk about next week. Okay, we're gonna finally open up for 4 women with team 1 and team 2. All right, that of course, we're not. No, we're not. You know, we're not saying all. That's exactly right. That's by no means do we know. Okay, but collective. We're talking collectively, not all. That's right. And there's some beautiful men and beautiful women, and I know 4 of them will in the room with me tonight. Okay, but happy Thanksgiving. Eat well tomorrow. Enjoy your family tomorrow. Thanksgiving should be every day. I told that to my congregation Sunday. Every day is a day of Thanksgiving. Gratitude determines your altitude. All right. And I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for the hearts tonight. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for the followership. We appreciate y'all. And with that, I'll say this. If you stay high on life, life's going to stay high on you. Love you much, as Rory would do. Love you much. And enjoy your family tomorrow. And be careful on Black Friday.